Donita, where are you at the moment, mate?
I'm in Los Angeles at my place in what is kind of my studio office, I guess, where I
Yeah,
do all of these important interviews.
yes, lots of because yes, very exciting news. You are coming down, bringing bricks are heavy. Very exciting. Um, what's it been like revisiting that album in full?
It's been challenging. We did it in the States, and we got pretty goddamn good at it, I have to tell you, because we hadn't ever played a couple. This Ain't Pleasure, which is the last track on the record, and we hadn't played Wargasm, which is the first track on the record, in many, many years. And so those are the two most challenging songs. And so to kick off the set with Wargasm, because we play the record front to back to begin the set. And so starting out with Wargasm is is quite a challenge. But it's been cool. We've had a blast with it. Like the first, I think Bricks Are Heavy is like 40 minutes long, 42 minutes long, something like that. And so we do that, and then we switch to other songs from our career after that. So it's been really fun, and the audiences have enjoyed it. And we've been very touched by the reception and the what people perceive as the longevity and relevancy of that record. So we're just blown away by that.
I noticed that I was having a poke around Instagram, and I noticed that L7 follows Ice-T, who I'm a his work in body count. I'm a huge fan of, and he did a track about 10 years ago now called "Bitch in the Pit" about how he'd be at these heavy mosh pits at these heavy metal shows. He would always see these just crazy ass kicking chicks in the pit just throwing down with the dudes, and it got me thinking about what the kind of demographic that you used to play with in the 90s, because obviously, you look back on all these grunge and rock shows, these crowds are pretty rough, but I imagine you would have had a pretty big showing with women at your shows. So how did you feel about it? What kind of, was there a bit of equal representation in your 90s mosh pits?
Um, we saw a lot of guys getting out of control sometimes, and we'd have to stop the set a lot. Uh, and sometimes we see girls getting out of control and violent at our shows. But you know, truth be told, our demographic, according to our Facebook analytics, is it's like 60% men, 40% women, which is kind of surprising to me. At least it was when we started our Facebook page years ago. But so we've always had. I was surprised by that. I would have figured that it would be more women than men, but uh, that's kind of what it was. But yeah, I've seen tough cookies, male and female, in the pit, and I don't like it, and we won't tolerate it, and that's about it. That's all I can tell you. Other than that, we're not bouncers, so we can't. We're not gonna, But I will tell you, on our reunion shows, we don't see that kind of violence anymore. So that's good. We saw a couple girls get mean to this one guy up in San Francisco, but that's San Francisco. That's a whole nother world. Um, so we've always had tough chicks in San Francisco. So yeah.
I feel like I don't know if this is just being intellectually lazy, but I kind of would just assume that L7 would have had a huge lesbian following through the lifespan of the band. Would that be accurate, or would it be depending on where you toured?
Oh, we had lots of dykes. We had lots of straight girls. We had lots of gay guys. We had lots of straight guys. Of course, if you're a lesbian, why wouldn't you love L7? What, are you fucking insane? You know what I mean? Like, come on, what's there not to love? But you'd be surprised. Um, uh, but yeah, we've I think maybe you are being a little intellectually lazy, because we have a lot of straight girls who love us too. So there you have it.
Yeah, fair. Well, look, I'm not standing on a pedestal and saying how I was merely musing, but yeah, no, because yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it going, holy crap, who wouldn't want you guys as role models? Like, holy shit, they were. I can't imagine. Women get enough shit these days. I can't imagine doing what you were doing in the 80s and 90s. Like,
You
do you
know,
see? Yeah.
you know, I would say most of our male peers in other bands were incredibly supportive. I would say that the people that came out to see us were incredibly supportive. So we didn't really deal with that many a-holes. You know what I mean? Maybe on a festival here or there, but we were dealing with outsider people coming to see us, and outsiders like outsiders. So, the disenfranchised like the disenfranchised. So that's those were our people, and I think if there was any kind of misogyny going on, it was kind of the guys with power, like maybe some promoters, maybe some suits at radio stations, etc. The first time we played Australia, I don't know if you know this story, but the promoter that we were with announced at a Red Hot Chili Peppers show, "Come on down and see L7. Great tits, great ass, great band." And we found out about it because the Red Hot Chili Peppers told us about it. And it was just so outrageous that that's how they, were, this guy, I think he had a few drinks or something. But I demanded that he have opals waiting for us in the dressing room on our last performance in Australia. And on our last performance in Australia, lo and behold, there was a little velvet box for each one of us containing an opal. And, because I told him, look, if you're going to speak of us like broads, treat us like broads, and we want some opals. And so he did it. So there you go. Sweet revenge. I've still got it in my drawer. I never had it set to a ring, but every once in a while I'll look at it and say, there you go.
I fucking love it. Oh my
Right?
God.
Great tits, great ass, great band.
I'm
Said,
like, I'm sure you do, but yeah, fucking hell.
yeah, hey, I'm not arguing the point, but, would he say that about Flea? Maybe.
Oh God. It reminds me of there was an all-girl new metal band that came out in the turn of the century called Kitty, who you've probably heard of. And they got introduced as Britney Spears meets Slayer. I'm like, what the fuck do they have to do with Britney Spears?
Do they have anything to do with Slayer?
Well, maybe not, but holy shit, like Britney Spears?
Yeah, I mean, come on, that's hilarious. Like you got to laugh at that stuff. You know what I mean? Because even you think that's ridiculous. So it's like, I'm sure Kitty thought that was ridiculous. I hope they didn't get pissed off about it, because I guess I'd be pissed off about that. But I, it's hilarious.
And what do you do? You know, dickheads are
Well,
going to dickhead.
you demand a goddamn opal. That's what you do. Put their money where their stupid mouths are, and pay up, Broseph.
So L7 got obviously it's some of these songs like Pretend We're Dead and whatnot have this incredible place, I think, in the 90s, and I think that was really illustrated by the fact that you were selected for the soundtrack for Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, which was
Yeah.
set in the early 90s, which I imagine would have introduced you to a lot of new fans. What was that experience like?
I don't really know. I'm not a video game person. I hear it was pretty violent. But we used to be highly selective of where our music was used and placed, like films and such. But Natural Born Killers was pretty violent too. But San Andreas, I've never seen it, and we kind of thought it would be a good move to expose ourselves to that crowd, just like we always felt about getting on television or getting on the radio, like we could be on some stupid morning jock radio DJ jock, idiot, but we wanted to get on a show because we like exposure and we like infiltrating the masses. So that was a way of infiltrating the masses too, to get, if they were going to have violence or violence against women on that thing, at least a counterpoint with us on there. I don't really know. I heard there's violence against women. I don't know, but
yeah, there's violence against everyone. Yeah.
Okay. Then fuck it. I am not. I don't like violence. I'm not a video gamer, but I guess I'm glad we're on there. I guess
Well, look, you mentioned one of my favorite movies of the 90s, Natural Born Killers. The use of shit list in that scene is like Juliette Lewis just going absolutely fucking haywire. What were your reactions when you finally saw the finished film?
Well, I thought she was amazing. Again, I'm not crazy about violence. So, and I haven't seen that film since it came out. So I should probably watch it again. But she was great. And Woody Harrelson were great. I don't even remember the whole thing. I just really remember that scene with her, which is so out of control and hilarious. And I've become friends with Juliette Lewis over the years, and we were playing the same festival as her band a few years ago, and we had her come out on stage during Shitlist, and we had a mock fight with her on stage. So that was really a full circle moment. We were both singing it and kind of going at each other and stuff on stage. So I'm really glad that she performed that, played that part, and people really love that scene. So it's a memorable thing.
Well, look, speaking of memorable, obviously you had your Aussie eating a bat moment, at in '92 with throwing the tampon in the crowd. One that I really wanted to ask was I watched a live performance of you guys. I believe it may have actually been the same year where you actually dropped trowel on TV. What was the kind of what was the thought process, and did you get any backlash once the cameras stopped rolling?
I believe I gave the backlash, if you know what I'm saying, or the backflash, and the front flash. I like absurdity. I like performance art. There's usually a method to my madness. We were on this silly show, and there were some things going on the show that I thought were kind of disrespectful. There was a male bum contest going on, which I thought was kind of lame, and they had a secret camera in Oliver Reed's dressing room documenting his drunkenness, which I thought was really violating. So it was like they were going to do that violating stuff. So it's like, okay, well, I'm dropping my pants on this show. So, but we had a really great time that said, we had a really great time on that show. It's not like I hated the people on the show or hated the show. It was just like, I thought they had some stupid segments going on. And I was like, well, I don't like bum contests, male or female. And so I'm going to show them my bum and my fanny. So that's what I did.
Well, it was memorable. I'll give you that.
Hell yeah, it's memorable. It's like one of the most outrageous moments on British TV. It always comes up, on those shows, like the most outrageous, blah blah blah. And So I'm pretty happy with that.
Lastly, mate, if you know, talking about obviously those antics, if you could get away with flinging a tampon at anyone in the world right now, who would it be?
Oh God, there's so many. I think I would have, like those t-shirt cannons, I would have a tampon cannon and just spray, you know, Putin and his fucking idiots and, a bunch of bigoted senators and Congress people we have in the United States. I mean, a lot of people would get the tampon cannon, believe me. So, yeah, there's a lot of tampon throwing to be done. But that I'm
Oh,
I'm leaving that up to the next generation.
I love it. Donita, thank you so much for your time today, man. This has been awesome. I will be seeing you in Brisbane at the Triffid.
Oh,
So,
awesome. Hey, and give Down Girl my love.
yes, I will. I will tell them that you like their shirt. No worries.
Yes, I like it very much. Good
Yeah.
job. Good
All
job,
right.
ladies. Good
See you,
job,
mate.
ladies. All right, thank you so much. Bye-bye.